Yes, that is a squirrel plummeting headfirst into our world record attempt for the tallest domino structure. And before you call me out, I know, it sounds totally ridiculous. Like, why is there a stuffed squirrel spinning towards a gigantic tower made of thousands of dominoes? Well, with every ridiculous piece of a plot, there's a story. Recently, I had the honor of being an artist in residence at the National Building Museum in Washington, D.C. I was given the opportunity to use their enormous and absolutely breathtaking Great Hall to make my wildest domino dreams come true. And when I heard that the museum's ceilings reach a staggering 159 feet tall, I knew immediately this could be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to break one of the most challenging domino records out there, the world's tallest domino structure. Currently, the record to beat is 32.9 feet tall, and given a space this big, it was now or never. So I gathered a team of expert domino artists and we got to work. Meet our lead tower builders. We've got Steven from Stephan Top, Marco from Roller Coaster 3 Freak, and Michael from Stick Trick Domino Dude. Together, we were about to do the impossible.
I don't really love heights.
Building a 33-foot tall structure is no easy task. There's a reason why nobody has been able to break this 10-year-long record. Not only is finding a large enough space a challenge, but there is a tremendous amount of skill and precision required to build a freestanding tower over 33 feet tall. With domino structures, there are no fail-safes. If you accidentally drop a domino, the entire tower could come crashing down in a matter of seconds. If the dominoes aren't perfectly aligned, the tower could tip over from uneven weight. And if your hand shakes, causing you to misplace a piece, it is game over. There is no room for error with this kind of high-pressure record attempt. But even though we knew it would be risky, we were up for the challenge.
I'm excited. I'm a bit anxious that it will not work, but we'll do our best.
I'm excited. This is something I've wanted to do for a long time.
We've got 2 scissor lifts, we've got a team, we've got 2 weeks to build. I'm just really hoping we can break it without it falling over by accident. You never know what happens with dominoes, but we'll see what happens. Wish us luck. Let's start building.
The tower itself was constructed using the octocube technique, where each pillar has 8 sides. The idea was to start with a 3x3 octocube base, then as the tower gets taller, taper to a 2x2 and then 1x1.
So this is our floor surface, the platform that we're going to be building on. Pretty solid tile. It's 2 feet by 2 feet, but the tower is probably going to be a little less than that.
Every domino needed to be perfectly placed by hand with the utmost care and precision. Maintaining good dexterity was one thing, but pushing through the constant underlying fear that you could accidentally destroy the tower at any moment was an entirely new level. Soon enough, it was time to get onto the scissor lifts.
It is day 3 of Destination Domino, and we are making really good progress.
Keeping the tower straight was a big challenge. It's pretty hard to tell if it's leaning when you're building it and viewing it from just one side. So to solve that, we used a laser plumb line, and that proved to be an extremely useful guide.
Somebody lent us a laser level to help out, so then we could see a little bit better that we're skewing to one side and be able to make some corrections. So.
We also noticed that Steven tends to build away from himself, while Marco and Michael tend to build toward themselves. Over time, this would cause the tower to shift ever so slightly, and when you're building something this tall, just a few millimeters off can make an enormous difference in the tower's stability. Knowing this, the builders regularly switched sides on the lifts in hopes that it would even out the tower. And just as we were getting into a good flow with building, we ran into a major problem.
Boys, what on earth just happened?
Okay, so we did drop a little bit inside of the tower. It's still standing, but
And we're hard still racing.
yeah, there's multiple dominoes in the white here, like near the top of the white, that are like out of place. And I don't know if this is going to be enough weight to keep it up. We probably should try to adjust a little bit, but either way, why don't you tell the group?
After days of painstaking building, this was a very unfortunate situation. At this point, we had 2 choices. Either A, continue building on top of the broken pieces and risk the tower collapsing unexpectedly, or B, attempt to fix it, but with the caveat that there was an extremely high chance that we may actually topple it in attempting to repair it. Clearly, there were no good options, and at this point, some builders had pretty low hopes that we could even break the record now. But after taking a closer look at the tower and assessing all of the risks involved, we decided to keep on building.
I'm really just hoping it stays up because this tower record is something that we've been wanting to do for a really long time.
Being so far from the ground was a mental battle in itself, but what was scarier was the fact that the scissor lifts actually shook a lot the higher they got. There was always a fear that the lift would wobble just a bit too much at the wrong time. When building such a precarious structure, you have to be overly aware of your hands and body so you don't knock it down by accident. One of the biggest obstacles we faced was that as the tower got taller, each layer became more uneven. Some dominoes would be much higher than the ones next to it, which raised much skepticism if it was even possible to reach 33 feet. The higher it got, the less stable it became.
That is a wrap of day 4 of Destination Domino. Check out our world record attempt. It is super tall at this point. We've started building the 2x2 pillar, and it's getting a little wobbly, like uneven. Hoping it stays up till tomorrow because I think we can finish.
For the most part though, the tower was fairly steady until now. See, at precisely 29 feet high, it just so happens that the AC was blowing directly at the tower. What could go wrong, right? We were just a few feet away from reaching the world record, and suddenly the tower began to sway. Even the lifts were shaking too, which made building 10 times more difficult on top of our already trembling hands.
We're hoping to finish today. Either we'll make it or the tower could fall. I don't know, we're gonna see what happens, but wishing everyone the best.
As we began to approach the top, we tapered the tower to a single pillar. At this point, the dominoes were so uneven that we couldn't continue building it from the center. Instead, we continued it from the corner since that was the only spot flat enough to build on. With a swaying uneven tower and dwindling stability at hand, time was running out. The tower could collapse at any moment now, so we had to finish soon. Domino by domino, the tower grew an inch for every layer, and before we knew it, it was time to place the final piece. And with the most unparalleled concentration, Stephan did the honors.
Got it!
And to our amazement,
10.128 meters.
we did it. 10,442 dominoes later, we successfully achieved a new world record for the tallest domino structure. Standing at 33 feet and 3 inches tall, this tower was a spectacular sight to see. Please give this video a thumbs up to show your support, and big shoutouts to my team for getting it on the first try. This is truly an impressive accomplishment. And now that we've admired the tower's beauty, let's topple it.
I'm just really hoping we can break it.
I'm excited. This is something I've wanted to do for a long time.
If I could throw the squirrel at the tower, that would be so cool.
What is the significance behind the squirrel?
I just like squirrels.
And that is how we achieved a new world record. Definitely check out behind the scenes on H5 Domino Community. Thank you so much to the National Building Museum for making this possible, and to my team who absolutely crushed it. I'm Lily Hevesh, and keep on building.